This week's episode is sponsored by Change. Change is an online mentoring program that teaches people with no experience how to create a real profitable online business in e-commerce. I have been working with Ryan at Change for a few years now and attended many events and got to meet the amazing community of like-minded people. These guys are the best of the best. The support these guys offer is personal, no bots or employees. There's no experience needed, but like anything in life, it takes time as it's a real business with real results. For more information, go check out Ryan on Instagram at RyanJB, and he will guide you through the steps to help build a successful business. You can now follow me on all my social media platforms to find out who my latest guest will be. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you're notified for when my next podcast goes live. And boom, we're on. Today's guest, we've got Michael King. Michael, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Fine.
You're known as Shadow in the smash hit show Gladiators.
Yes.
I was a massive fan of it myself. You were sacked from it over the last few years. You've been in and out of prison, but now today you want to tell things from your side and just basically just tell your own story, which is what these podcasts are all about. First and foremost, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you feeling today?
Getting used to being out. It's only been about a month and a half now, but getting used to it.
Yeah, good. Before we get into everything, I always like to go back to the start of my guests, get a bit of understanding about you, where you grew up, and how it all began.
I grew up actually in New York. My mother lived in New York. I went there when I was about 14. High school there, junior college. Then I came back to England. I was playing American football, so I was weight training. So when I came back, I started to compete in bodybuilding shows and teenage shows, and worked my way up really until I became, just about to get my professional card, and I got the job as a gladiator.
What was school like in America?
Oh, it was a bit wild.
Was it?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in New York?
In the Bronx. I lived in the Bronx. 167, the Grand Concourse. Yeah, I went to school in the end of the train ride. It was like 205 or something. Yeah, DeWitt Clinton. It was a boys' school. Yeah.
How's that, being in an all-boys school?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. I mean, there was a girls' school just down the road called Science. Never did get to pop around there, but yeah, that was a bit weird, especially coming from London to go to a boys' school in America. Yeah.
So you were wanting to be American football and NFL?
I did try for the NFL. I did try as a free agent. I didn't go to college to get picked as on the draft or anything, so it would have been as a free agent. I remember going out to Texas Stadium. Took me 2 days to drive there from LA, and for the trials in the stadium for free agents, people that don't come from college, just come from the street. And I had to run a few drills. I remember the coach turned around to the other coach and said, his hips are too stiff and he has no hand coordination. Next. And I'd been there all day. It took me 2 days to drive there. And that's all I got out of it.
Just ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless, yeah.
So much money involved in the NFL. Yeah. It's one of the highest paid sports on the planet. But did that deflate you as a young boy?
No. I ended up coming back to Europe. I played 6 months in France, in Nice, Sweden, Stockholm, Frankfurt in Germany, played American football as a player coach. And then when they started the league over here, I was too old for the league. I think it was under 25 or something like that. Got back into bodybuilding. Like I said, I was about to get my professional card. And I applied for the job as a gladiator and went from there, really.
What was it like applying for the Gladiators? Because it was an unknown show. Nobody knew
I used
how
to
big
watch.
it would
I used
be.
to watch the American program on a Friday night.
So you were already known to what it was about?
Yeah, it's an American concept. So it used to be on like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. I used to watch it, and they said they were looking for people to start a new program. So I just applied for it and went out to an army barracks in Woolwich, I think it was.
Because it's always you. I remember Shadow, Jet.
Wolf.
She was fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
and Wolf was the kind of three names. I used to love it. Saturday night, I think the lottery was on, or Gladiators. There was a lot of Saturday night. I used to love.
Blind date and all
Just
that kind of
you
stuff.
sitting out with your mum and dad watching shit TV. But Gladiators was always the one because it was exciting. The beautiful girls as well. The girls were fucking stunning. Muscly men, strong.
Sure.
Just thinking, I want to compete in that. And what was it going through? What was it like? What was it like? Actually, did you have to pass any tests to become a gladiator?
Like I said, we went out to an army barracks in Woolwich. Went through a number of exercises in the gym, outside the gym with the PT instructors there, and that's how they picked us, really. Yeah.
How many people?
Well, there was thousands of people that applied for the job throughout the country, but the day I went there, I think there was about 15 of us, 15 guys, 15 girls. Then they picked from that.
How many eventually got picked?
6 guys and 6 girls.
And did you know how big the show was going to be? Because it was like 15 million, 20 million viewers at the weekend.
I don't even think LWT knew how big the show was going to be. In the first year, we were getting like £500 a show. In the second year is when it blew up, and they realised how big the show was going to be. But I don't think they even realised how big it was going to be.
Was that, you were getting paid 500 quid a show?
Yeah. Whereas like the American Gladiators, they get repeat fees from every state that shows it. They get merchandise rights. We didn't get no merchandise rights. We didn't get no repeat fees. We just got a flat wage per show. And obviously you do personal appearances and stuff like that during the month. You could earn 2-3 grand a month. Opening shops, doing signings, that type of thing. But no, we didn't get no merchandise rights, no repeat fees.
It's fucking slavery though when you think about it.
Yeah. Compared to the Americans, and we took that concept from the Americans and totally blew it up. You know, I think they did their thing in front of 1,000 people in front of a cardboard cutout, whereas we got it in the arena.
Because I'm sure there used to be like little figures now, the wrestlers and stuff. So
there's
no merchandise, probably at that time though, it's like actors or people writing books. They get musicians. They all get a very small percentage. It's the big wigs who make all the money. Yeah. But did you ever complain when you were getting 500 quid a show when the show became so popular?
Not in the first year, obviously not. You know, so many people trying out for the show, and if you didn't like the contract, then you didn't sign it. And there's a number of people that were waiting for the job. In the second year, they moved it up to $750 a show. Still, you know, at the end of the day, it was nothing compared to the American show. What the Americans get, rather. And don't forget, they did their thing in front of 1,000 people. In an arena looked like a cardboard cutout, whereas ours was in the NEC, 10,000 plus twice a day. You know, it was big numbers.
You were doing 2 shows a day?
Yeah. About 14-hour a day.
Did that ever make you question it though, thinking, shit man, I should be getting more, or were you just happy to be part of it?
Like I said, no one made any waves. If you didn't like the contract, you didn't sign it. You know, simple as that, really.
What was the first show like?
The first show, the first season? No, it was good. Good, it was exciting.
How was it with the male and the females? Was everybody having a good time, or was it just a kind of cutthroat?
No, everyone was having a good time. I mean, we all were brought together for 2 weeks to film in Birmingham. Stayed at the NEC. No, it was good. It was good.
How much training were you doing for it? Because everybody was in great shape.
You get 2 weeks to practice on the new apparatus that come out, the new games that come out. Contestants only get a week before they have to start filming, but we're there for 2 weeks prior to them coming. So you got time to get used to the games and stuff like that.
How many different games was there?
Wow. How many different games were there? There was Skytrap, the Jewel, the Pyramid, the big metal balls. I can't remember what they were called.
Yeah.
Gauntlet, Powerball, Hang Tough.
That looked hard one when they're swinging.
When they're swinging, yeah, and the 50 rings.
I used to love watching that one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few games.
What was your speciality? What games?
I was known for the duel, which is the only one-on-one game where they fight with the sticks.
Sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just knocking people off.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Did you ever get put off yourself?
Gary Mason, he stepped across and pushed me off one time, but that's about the only time I came off there.
Did he get the victory for that?
No,
It was a Scottish guy who was a referee.
That's it.
Gladiators, are you ready?
Yeah.
When it was that fucking
John
mad
Anderson,
bastard.
yeah.
He had that accent was good for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like the guy, Michael Buffer.
Mm.
It says, "Let's get ready to rumble." The Gladiators was known for that as well. Gladiators, are you ready?
Yeah.
Was it the seems you ever got a defeat? Was it? Listen, it's on that game show. Did you take it personal?
I've never been defeated in 3 years. No, except for when Gary Mason pushed me off. But no, I've never been defeated.
So did you not do any other ones? Was you just?
Yeah, I did hang tough. Did the gauntlet. Did Powerball. But no, those are all team games where you play with more than one person. So the duel's the only one where it's one-on-one. But the rest of the games, they're team efforts.
So how long did you do? Was it 3 seasons?
Yeah, the first 3 seasons, yeah.
What was the second season like for you? Was it a big improvement? More fame? More attention?
Yeah, we didn't realise, like I said, in the first year how big the show was going to become. I remember going to Tesco's or somewhere like that one day with my wife and being totally mobbed. Then realising, wow, we really are famous, like, you know what I mean? Oh, you're getting used to this fame thing, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like now where everybody's got social media and you can be TikTok famous and Instagram famous. Then if you were famous, you were famous because it was everybody only had a TV to get that information. And Gladiators was the #1 show. It was like 15 million, 20 million people watched on a Saturday night, which is phenomenal numbers.
Yeah, it was bigger than Blind Date, bigger than Noel's House Party. Yeah, it was a big show on a Saturday night.
Folks, that brings back a lot of memories you mentioning Noel's House Party and stuff.
Yeah.
So season 2, season 3, life going great. Was just to be married then as well and training hard on a hit show. Yeah. Was life perfect?
Yeah.
Then
I was accused of doing a line of cocaine in a nightclub a restaurant I used to go to, piano bar in the King's Road. They said they had an undercover reporter took photos of me doing this or doing that. The only pictures they had was my Jeep outside this actual restaurant where I used to go. But on the basis of that story, LWT had to let me go because now that the program was targeted towards kids between 5 and 15, even though it went a bit higher. But I suppose they cut off their nose to spite their face, really, to let me go.
Did someone stick you in?
Well, like I said, they reckon they had an undercover reporter that said I did a line of cocaine inside this restaurant. They didn't have no photographs. They all had was my Jeep outside the restaurant. But, at the end of the day, if I don't know you, I'm not doing a line of coke with you. So it was all purely fabricated, the story. And on the basis of that, LWT had to let me go.
On the basis of someone writing an article?
Yes, on the basis of me being accused of doing drugs. Yeah.
Accusations, there's horrible things. The newspapers always say this kill people, destroy lives.
Yeah.
Whether you're taking gear or whatever, listen, we get it, but you're not doing it in front of kids. You're not. Nobody's seen you doing it, and that's if somebody blatantly caught you, like nowadays people have got their cameras and you were caught. Listen, you're fucked. You can put your hands up.
Sure.
Was that a hard one? Was that a bitter pill to swallow because there was no evidence of you taking any gear?
No evidence at all. Just a story.
Did you get a heads up when the story was breaking?
No, I just got a phone call on a Sunday morning, someone phoning up saying, Jeff, have you seen the news of the world? Have you seen the papers? That's how it was on a regular basis, People calling me up and saying, Jeff, you're in the papers again today. Oh, Jeff, have you seen the paper? What is it now?
Did you have any negative press before?
Before?
The coke one?
No, not really. I mean, there was some false accusations. They said I was arrested for handling a stolen Porsche. Never stole a car in my life. That just came back from burying my dad in Jamaica. Dad's not even Jamaican. He was alive at the time. Underneath my picture, it had the name Michael Costello. Who's Michael Costello? Whoever wrote the story disregarded to even find out my real name to put it to my picture. But all kinds of stories that were just rubbish, basically.
Was there any other gladiators targeted with these sort of stories, or was it just yourself?
Just myself.
Do you think racism plays a part?
I never really looked into it like that. Never really sort of paid too much thought into is it a racist thing. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, because it makes you wonder, though. It makes you question why you then.
Well, it does. It does. I remember Bob Windsor saying to me, God bless her, she said to me, good publicity or bad publicity is good publicity as long as people are talking about it. But they never wanted to see me, she said, they never wanted to see me have that power again. Because I suppose at the time I was a known person, bigger than Frank Bruno, bigger than a few people, as far as Saturday night prime time and being known to the general public. And yeah, she said to me that they never want to see me have that power again. Again, is that racism? I don't know.
People talk about special clubs and special handshakes, and were you ever offered to be in sort of these clubs? Or
no.
Because a lot of people who then get through under the bus tend to reject these offers because they just want to be their own person and be on TV. But like you were saying, you've got that bit of power and fame, and if you're not dancing to their tune, they just fuck you off.
Yeah. I think that's how it goes. And there's no one there to guide you. There's no one there to say to you, okay, this is how you got to be. This is where you should go. These are the people you should hang out with. These are the people you should be seen with. There's nothing like that. It was just I've gone from being a semi-pro bodybuilder to this famous person that's on primetime TV, and it's not so much not knowing how to handle it. I handled it pretty well, I think. As far as I was an athlete, I was there to show you what a guy like me is going to do to you. The whole thing was about the ultimate challenge, providing a challenge for the contestants, so they have to fight for their points. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I suited right in.
Did you not have a manager or PR?
We did have managers. Well, we did have managers and PRs, but they weren't allowed to get us any work outside of. Well, they used to get us work outside of LWT as your outside agent.
Meet and greets and stuff.
Would find you work and get you gigs and stuff like that. Once they saw how much money we were making outside of them having control of it, they put a stop to it. All work had to go through LWT. All promotional work, all advertising work had to go through LWT. They would get their percentage and they would pay you a percentage. So our agents were cut out of the picture.
That's greed.
Yeah.
Fucking greed.
Yeah.
How long did Gladiators run for?
I think it ran for about eight years.
How was Big Fashion you and Eureka Johnson?
Oh, they were nice people. I mean, I never knew, never really was into football, so I never knew about John Fashanu being, I heard about his brother, but didn't know too much about him. Eureka, I think I remember her from being a weather girl on the news or something. But yeah, they seem to be nice people.
Who did you get on with the most in the Gladiators?
Who did I get on with the most? I think we were all like a tight-knit family. There was never one person that I got on better with than anyone else. I was the team leader, so my job is to bring them together and make them work together and have no fear of the camera and have no fear of being in the arena. It's not about us, it's about them. All we're there for is to provide a challenge. But once you enter the arena and lose that thought pattern of providing a challenge and you start looking at yourself and you don't want to look bad, you don't want to lose games, then that's what separated me, I think, from the rest of them, because I wasn't concerned with cameras. My job was to provide a challenge, and I was going to provide the ultimate challenge for it.
Where did you get that leadership skills and the confidence? Did the bodybuilding help with that?
I suppose so, because that's a singular gig in itself. Bodybuilding is hard work. It's all down to you. How much you eat, how much you train. Maybe discipline came from that. Playing American football, always being around team sports.
Who did you look up to, like Ronnie Coleman and stuff?
Yeah, no, my time was like Arnold.
Was that?
Yeah, Arnold, Franco Colombo. 'Cause I'm 62, you know.
Yeah, you look great for your age. You're talking 70s, 80s.
Yeah, no, 70s, 80s. Yeah, we have to be Arnold and
I'm
Franco
forgetting you're
Colombo.
61 because you still look fucking great.
All those type of guys.
Yeah. So that's who you wanted to inspire to be, the big arm.
Yeah, I remember seeing a picture of Arnold in the changing room when I was in high school in America, and I thought, I could have some of that. I wouldn't mind looking like that. But through playing American football, I was weight training, so my body just began to grow. So I just kept on training.
Because with the Gladiators, it says you were kicked off for taking steroids. But looking at the Gladiators, nobody's daft. They know who's on the juice.
Yeah,
maybe not so then now, but you know who's on juice now. But
they wanted people that looked like us. They could only find it in the bodybuilding world, the fitness world. They didn't want us looking the same, or gladiators looking the same as the contestants. Contestants were fit people. Swimmers, runners, marathon runners, all that type of Ironman type of people. So they wanted the next step up, and so obviously they knew in the first year there was no concern about steroids or no concern about us coming from the bodybuilding world or anything like that. They wanted that look. Now the second year comes along and the show becomes so much popular, and it's been scrutinized. They had to start now testing us. We're not athletes. You don't have to test us for things like that. We're entertainers. But that's how it went. It started to go in that direction, like as if they were treating us as if we were
boxers or
athletes. Yeah.
Like you say, you're an entertainer. You're a showman. What's the difference if you're taking juice or not?
Sure.
Was that just an excuse to maybe have that on the sidelines in case they wanted to get rid of anyone?
How they thought, I have no idea. How they used to think, I have no idea.
See, even just listening to it makes me, I question everything, and I'm trying to find the angle, why, how, what was their purpose?
Yeah,
because everybody would have been on the juice. You just look how fucking big they were. They were massive.
Sure. I mean, I think even some of the girls were on juice.
Yeah, but Jet, mate, I used to love her. I'm sure I had a that's cringe, but I'm sure I used to have a poster of her on my wall. Fucking cringe. So what was it? So you didn't get sacked for the steroids? It was for the line of gear in the papers.
Yeah.
Why did they say steroids? Was that to try and cover it up?
I think they just involved the whole steroids, cocaine, the whole package together, really.
So what was it like then? Were you thinking it's going to be okay because you were such a high profile name then, or did your world crash instantly?
No, my world crashed really. I remember how I had an interview on LWT, a press interview, to apologise to my people that I work with and all this kind of stuff, and they let me go.
See, that's what I hate about those apology interviews. You're admitting guilt, and then everybody goes, they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I just think, listen, I never done fuck all. And people can make their own assumptions. It's easier. Hindsight's always a wonderful thing. We always say that shit, but were you ever thinking, why should I apologise?
Why should I apologise?
Because it was only a paper.
I suppose it was
a news article.
Guidance again. Not being asked if I should apologise or not apologise. Right, there's a press conference. You're gonna explain yourself away or apologise to the people that been affected in this.
What was the feeling like when you got sacked? Did it take time to sink in, or sink in straight away?
I used to have a big G on the back of my spare tire on the back of the Jeep, and that had to be removed. My shadow number plate had to be removed. I felt like there used to be a program on TV where the guy gets thrown out of the army and they strip the lapels off his shoulder and they break his sword and throw him out into the wilderness, and that's how I felt. That I was just I wasn't given no opportunity to say, well, do you want to go to rehab? Do you need to go to rehab or anything like that? It was just gone.
Did you have a habit?
No, not really. No. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it was a 14-hour day. We used to have a dab of speed in the morning after breakfast to get you through the whole day. But no, it wasn't to the point where, you know, man's just losing the plot or anything.
How? Because that's the thing. Fame's a weird thing. Lewis Capaldi, I don't know if you know who he is, a singer, but he's really struggling with his mental health. Scottish kid, unbelievable singer, unbelievable talent. And he's got Tourette's now, and he's really struggling. He's put on a bit of weight, and it's just the fame side of things. It is difficult for people to handle it. Did you handle it okay, or were you thinking this is because it's not real? It's a weird little world you're in.
It's a weird little world. I don't know where the transition came, because I was big in the bodybuilding world as well. So I used to go and compete. I used to have a lot of attention in the bodybuilding world. Moving over to Gladiators now, it is a different thing being on TV, being in people's living rooms every Saturday night. That type of fame, like I said, no one trains you for that. No one prepares you for it. It's something you just got to take on, and you deal with it as you would deal with it. I mean, I've never been a person with a chip on my shoulder, or I am, or do you know who I am, sort of thing. I was very humble. I am very humble. So for me, it was comfortable for me. Yeah, the fame thing was comfortable for me.
See, when you were doing the bodybuilder and then going to Gladiator, did you have to strip weight? A stone, 2 stone?
No. I left the bodybuilding world about 19 stone. I held that as a gladiator about 18 and a half, 19 stone.
Because that's still if you're competing with the dual thing, with the obviously with the swinging and stuff, would have been heavier on the hands, the shoulders. Obviously, the bigger the weight, yeah. But when the gladiators, obviously, you see bodybuilders and they're stiff.
All right, no, I was pretty agile.
The gladiators seem to move and glide, and it looked with ease. You used to watch the contestants, and you think they're shite.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? They looked out of place. Some of them, there was some of them who could handle it, but there was some you think they shouldn't even be there.
Sure.
Because the thing at the end when I used to try and run up
Travelator and stuff like that, yeah,
that wasn't exciting. They used to slide down, they climb up the wall and slide down like it.
Yeah.
Well, it is a great kind of setup for a show. It was perfect at that time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're doing a remake now, and no doubt it'll be popular. So, see, when you get sacked and then the show was running for another 5-6 years after that, was it hard to watch?
I never watched it. I never did watch it myself. Once I came out of there, I didn't watch it again. Yeah.
Too tough?
No, not so much too tough. I just wasn't going to watch it again. At the end of the day, I think they went from like 15 million viewers to 12 million. That's how many people stopped watching the program when they took me out of it. I mean, there was nothing no more. There was no. I believe I was the backbone of Gladiators, the serious side of Gladiators. Once that was gone, then all you had was the character, which was Wolf, and the sexy girl Jet. And that was it. No one else was there really competing or was competitive. I don't believe there was as competitive as the level that I was on as far as competitiveness was concerned.
Because if anybody has got a habit or addicted to something, you could go into rehab and says, look, take 6 months off.
Yeah.
Come back, do another article, listen, I'm living a clean life, I apologise, I'll make up for it, and then get back on the next season. Were you ever thinking about that sort of stuff? Because he seems such a laid-back guy.
I was never offered that type of stuff. Like I said to you, once that came out, they fired me. Simple as that. They fired me. There was no conversation about, do I want to go and do this? Do I feel like I need help? There was nothing like that. They just fired me. Yeah. And when I think to myself, there are people out there that work in the industry, done for drugs, done for this or done for that. They're still working. Yeah, they may have been given the opportunity to go to rehab or whatever, I don't know, but they're still working. Even up to today, there's a number of people that have had all kinds of charges. Maybe didn't go to prison. They're still working. Yeah.
Especially in the 90s as well. The coke and stuff everybody was on it. Everybody was fucking dabbling on it. Even, I would say probably more people are doing it now than ever, but the 90s it was more glorified. Everybody, it was kind of a party thing, lawyers, and Friday night, it was kind of people with a bit of money, Friday night thing, Saturday night thing. So see, when you get sacked, what happens with your life then? Being a household name, popular, everybody loving you, making a bit of money.
I went from being able to get $5,000 worth of Alpine equipment just for the sake of taking pictures with the management crew at the NEC Indoor Arena, to get in my car fully kitted out with shadow grey leather interior because of the name, to not even being able to get a packet of batteries from the shop for free. Yeah, that's how much of a drop it was. Yeah. Getting all these things for free, all this promotion and everything. And from the time I got fired, it was like I wasn't even the same person.
Did your life spiral after that then?
Yeah, I suppose it did. Yeah.
Did you ever try and claw it back and try and do other shows or any offers?
No, I did a few movies, extra parts, Mortal Kombat 2, some TV shows, Jonathan's Creek, and a few commercials and stuff like that. But no, I just kind of finding it so hard to step back in, or to step in on some kind of a level, that I just kind of move it away, I suppose.
Did you give up?
Yeah, I suppose I gave up. Yeah. Gave up trying. Yeah. They seem to be blackballing me everywhere I went.
And have you ever really questioned it? Why? Because you seem so laid back where you've accepted it. I'd be thinking something's not fucking right.
What am I to think that's not right?
Just people throwing you under the bus. Why have they released that story? Why have they not put you into rehab? Why have they totally let you go, took everything off you? Somebody's had it against you, whether it's jealousy, whether you've listened ruffled feathers on the show where people's not like, whether you have got too powerful, where people are maybe looking up to you, inspired to be you. Maybe you weren't playing their game.
I suppose I suppose all that was going on. I suppose all that was going on. I can only go by what people say to me. Is when they was a kid, they used to turn around to their parents and say, "Mum, Dad, am I going to look like that when I grow up? When I get bigger, I look like me." I only imagine the amount of people that I've inspired to train, weight train, get involved in sports through seeing me on Gladiators. Why they did what they did, I have no idea.
Did any of the other gladiators reach out, or did everything fizzle with them?
Oh no, everything fizzled with them as well.
Were they told to stay back?
I think they were. Yeah, told to stay back. I had a dojo in Middlesex, and I had a couple of them come over and see the gym and everything, and they were told to stay away from the gym, stay away from me in case I got myself in trouble, and they'd be associated with the gym and stuff like that. Just you wouldn't think that we were all close knit at one point. Like I said, nobody wants to make any waves. No one wants to create any problems, so they do what they're told. Yeah,
but that pussies in my eyes. Shitbags, man. If somebody's your brother or sister, no matter if you lose your job, your livelihood, get cancelled, you've still got to make a stand.
Sure. And I think if they had all stuck together, then we maybe would have got merchandise rights, maybe we would have got repeat fees. But like I said, nobody wanted to make waves, and if you didn't like the contract, you didn't sign it. And there was plenty of people that wanted to take your place.
Yeah, the power of people need to understand. Power of the mob, power of the people is stronger than anybody. Yeah. And if people make a stand, that's why people go and strike and do stuff. To make a stand, I'm not taking your shit anymore. We want a pay rise, we want this. And it's not that you're greedy. You're not asking for 90% of what the income is. You're just wanting just an extra bone, just to get a better sleep and put more food in the fridge, feed your kids. But 500 quid a show, if they're getting 10,000 arena twice a day, sponsors, they're raking in millions every week. Millions.
I remember the guy that made the dolls. He said he made like £4.5 million in 2 years selling those dolls. Mine, Wolf's, Jets, the leading selling dolls. I mean, forget about just the dolls. Merchandise went across the board. So you can only imagine how much money they were making.
Yeah, T-shirts. I'm sure I had the sticks that you used to hold. I'm sure I got them for Christmas. So I did. But it's crazy to think, and it's sad as well, because people are naive then, and it's okay looking at it now, what you should have done differently.
Yeah.
But then you're just happy to go on a smash hit show.
Sure. Yeah, there's that too.
This is a thing with people in power. They just love full control, as if they own you.
Yeah.
Nobody owns anybody. But trying to do the right thing and people getting paid well is a different ballgame, because greed is what controls the world. Greed is what poisons men's souls.
Sure.
And that's the reality of it. Nobody fucking cares about you.
No.
Whether you're on 15 million views one night and then looking in the bin for scraps the next. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Once you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
And you'll tend to see that if people just turned your back on you, then they were never truly your friends anyway.
No, that's true too.
Because when the shit hits the fans, it's always the ones who have got your back. Only a select few. You're lucky if there's 2 or 3. And if you've got any more than that, you're blessed. But when you're going through the motions, then when you got basically cancelled, what they call it in this day and age, what did you do with your life then? Obviously, you done a bit of extra work, but were you just kind of deflated?
Yeah, totally deflated. Don't forget, I've gone from being there to there. To ground zero. Having to strip my car of its labels and everything, and just overnight.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because mental health and stuff wasn't spoke about then, the 90s.
No.
Now it's everybody speaks about mental health. Everybody's struggling.
Sure.
We get it, but was there anybody you could was there anybody you could speak to kind of understand what you're going through, or was it just man up, get on with it?
Yeah, man up, get on with it. Yeah.
When was the first time you went to prison?
September the 11th, 2011, when their planes went into the towers. Yeah, that's the first time I went to prison.
What happened?
Why did I go to prison? I don't know. I think it was might have been a shoplifting charge or something.
Was that all over the papers?
Yeah, I think every time I've been inside, it's been in the papers. Yeah.
And what's goes through your mind when you're inside? Does it still play in your mind that you were on a hit show and then you're in prison for shoplifting?
No, I think I got over it by then. You always get people that come up to you and say, "Oh, man, what happened to you, man? You was this, you was that." The day I had a job on TV, that was about it. Yeah.
Is that hard for you when people say that?
Yeah, it used to be. Not so much now. I mean, you're talking 30 years down the road, so I've kind of gotten over it now. When people see me for the first time, or they realise who I am, and that they seem pretty excited, pretty pleased to see me, which is good. It's good.
Why has it took you so long to tell your story?
I've never had the opportunity, really. I've never really learned the access that social media has, and Instagram and YouTube and all that type of thing. I'd say this is the first time I'm doing something like this, and I should have been doing it a long time ago, I suppose.
Better late than never.
Yeah,
but you seem like a fucking decent guy. You're not here being arrogant and shouting. You seem very calm, collective, and I'm just surprised that you just let it go so long with them, and just obviously it's difficult because nothing you can do except move on.
Yeah.
But nowadays you've got, I like to think people get managers and PRs to say, look, we can do this differently, we can do this, we can help you make extra money here. Because if that guy's making $4.5 million off of your name, then something ain't right.
Yeah.
That's not normal. That's you. People are buying you.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people get used in that industry.
Yeah.
And then when it's done, the lights are off, it's on to the next show.
Sure.
Same as people go to Love Island.
Sure.
It's a bit cringe for me, but 10 years ago I'd have probably went on something like that. But you tend to see a lot of these kids are coming from nowhere, get this mass amount of fame, can't handle it because it fizzles. They are forgotten about in 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah.
But they can't handle it here
No.
because they think they're not good enough anymore. They think nobody loves them or nobody cares. But it's just the way the world works. Everything changes. Things move on.
And I think when they set out to become famous, that's when they take on a whole sort of can of worms. I never set out to be famous. I was just about to turn pro in bodybuilding. Didn't get through the NFL. Just about to turn pro. Used to watch the American program on a Friday night. Saw they were looking for people. I thought, hey, I could have some of that. Yeah, use my physique for something like that. But I never had this burning desire to be a celebrity, to be famous. And I think that's the difference with people that don't end up handling things and those that,
Did it feel like
Fine
another
line.
rejection from not getting in the NFL to then being in Gladiators and then kicked off? And then was it a rejection kind of thing where it was a struggle as well, or did you just get on with it? I'll try and make something of it.
Just try and make something of it, really. Yeah. I mean, I kind of wish that, no, I don't wish. I kind of think to myself, I could have got my pro card. I could have made a good living from being a professional bodybuilder. Instead, I went that way. Yes, it did make me famous. But what's come of it? A whole ride of destruction and all types of things have come of me being a gladiator.
Why did you never go back to bodybuilding?
Why didn't I go back to it?
Yeah.
All right, good question. Yeah, good question. I don't know why I didn't.
Just deflated.
Yeah, I
Defeated.
think it's just, yeah. I think by then coming out of Gladiators and doing my little tours in prison and just getting involved in the dark side, just withered out, really.
Yeah, once you open the door to the dark side,
Yeah.
one negative thing,
Yeah,
you're opening the door to 100.
yeah.
You know that yourself. You're on that positive path.
Sure.
All the negativity kind of bounces off you.
Sure.
But once you open that door,
Yeah.
you know how
Yeah.
fast you can slip down.
Yeah.
Plus, who you were then as well. People would have been using you
Yeah.
to be around you, to
Sure.
offer you this
Sure,
and that.
sure.
Just
Sure.
snakes.
Sure.
They don't care about
Yeah.
you.
No.
They want you to do this and that.
Yeah.
And you think if you're on your ass and you're skin, they're good guys, they're giving me money.
Yeah.
They're not, because you're jeopardising getting
Yeah.
put back into prison again.
Yeah.
And it's mad because it took me 30 odd years to kind of awaken to, they ain't my friends.
No.
They want me to do this.
Yeah.
They want me to
Don't like you at
for
all.
what?
Yeah.
At that time, it seemed normal, the shit that I was doing to feed the family and provide. But you look back and it's madness. It's psychotic.
Yeah.
Because that's where the depths of life sometimes can take you.
Yeah.
We're looking for outlets, and if you're doing it in a negative way, I believe in karma. Karma comes round and goes, okay, like, we'll get you. Maybe not this year, 5 years.
Yeah.
Could be 10 years,
Yeah,
but
we
we'll
get
fucking
you.
get you.
Yeah.
How many stunts you done in prison?
God. Quite a few, I'm ashamed to say. In the beginning, it was, 2 weeks here, 2 months here, 5 months there, that type of thing.
And your big one, was it 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Does it ever sink? When did it ever sink into you? It's like not like a rise and fall, but it's being at the top to then prison is the lowest you can go, basically. I've been in prison myself. It's a fucking horrible place, and I would never wish it upon anybody. You know how shit it is, and the people in it. The people in it, I wouldn't say they're shit, because I'm still friends with people who I was in with, and they're mad bastards. I went down a different journey now, and I've learnt from it. But it's not that people are bad; they just do bad shit because of the pressures of life.
Yeah.
Did it ever sink in though that where your life ended up?
Yeah, I suppose it, it's had to have sunk in at some point, I've thought to myself, my God, I had a life, and now I'm in an AP address, bored shitless, and waiting to get a flat, waiting to get a job. Just the norm, really.
Yeah. So you got over 6 years. What was that for, blackmail?
Yeah, forced imprisonment and blackmail.
And what did you do over 3 years?
Yeah, about 3 years, 2 months.
What jail were you in?
I was in Scrubs for over lockdown, then I was in High Down and then I was in Ford, the open prison, decap prison.
How do people treat you in prison? Do people still know who you are?
Oh yeah.
Once they obviously tell them the name and the backstory. It's like you say, it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's still, I still see Gladiators as only 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's not when you says 30 years. I had to do the sum in my head. I thought, what? But it's mad how, you know yourself, time flies. It's unbelievable how fast time goes. So when you're inside prison, because you're still in great shape, you still look the part, you still look good for 61. So when you're in prison, how do you get through your sentence?
I've always worked in prison, some form of job. People have always got on well with me. Always happy to see me, shake my hand. I suppose these are the ones that the guys who grew up watching Gladiators, people that remember Gladiators. I suppose I've left a fond memory in their minds, because I get the reaction I get today is the same as I was getting 30 years ago when people see me for the first time.
Because they're doing a reunion. They've seen you do it. They've done reunion tours. You were banned to go and stuff.
Yeah, they didn't invite me. No. Yeah, and even then I used to think to myself, well, why? How can you have a reunion and not invite me? But they never.
What have you done, Michael? You shagged the producer's daughter or something? You done something,
I have no idea, mate.
A bit of fucking gear 25, 30 years ago and you're still getting rejected?
Sure. Look at that. Now, what do I paint that? What picture do I paint from that? What am I supposed to think from that? You have the reunion and you don't invite me. So the whole nation is sitting there saying, well, where's Shadow? You can't have a reunion from Gladiators from the 90s and not invite me. Like when they started to advertise the fact that they're going to start a new show, I think they had Saracen, Lightning, and Hunter was on some breakfast TV program. Obviously, they can't mention me. I'm in prison. But the guy that's doing the interview for this program comes busting out from behind this paper mache wall, carrying a pugil stick. Now, if you're carrying that stick, the only thought that a person's going to have when they see that stick is me. So for me, that was satisfying enough that he busted out of that paper wall carrying that stick. So even though I wasn't there, the millions of people that are watching that breakfast TV program, seeing him hold that stick, that know about Gladiators, know that's my stick. I'm the only person to break those sticks. I'm the only person to use that stick the way I used it. Took it to a new level, the Americans said. You know what I mean? They never used to hit below the waist, and I used to hit you all over with that stick.
I'm surprised the Americans never took you on. Could you not have went over there and done
it? They came to us for the International Gladiators, but again, don't know why they never took me on. I wish they did.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
No, I don't miss it. Like I said, it's 30 years ago, a long time ago. I got good memories of it. I still get my appreciation for being in it when I meet people. So I'm good. Yeah,
that's the thing as well. Even though you're getting used, you're still living a good life where you're living a dream of millions who watch. You're actually living it. You have got the opportunity, the chances. It just so happens with the big corporations, they just take. They just bleed people dry. And like I said earlier, it's the greed of the world. Instead of giving everybody a bone and making everybody, listen, you're doing your part, you're making the show millions. There's a bonus, or making bonuses and hitting certain views, or you should be getting extra money, but that's just the way I am. So see, they're making a remake now.
Mm-hmm.
Does that then bring it all back to the surface and bring back all the emotions where it's, because 30 years, listen, you've had,
for me?
Yeah, you've had time for it to fizzle, or would you watch the new show?
No, I might watch it just to see how
shit they are.
Yeah, basically, yeah. See what they got to offer, but it wouldn't be a regular occurrence. But I would just watch it just to see. I'd like to see what they think they're gonna do now that they didn't do back then. I can't. Maybe it's me being a bit biased, but I can't see it being as popular as the first time round.
No, because the thing now is just so much social media and there's so much YouTube and TikTok. And there's so many outlets for people to view things. It's not a case of TV, 5 stations. I think it was 4 stations.
Yeah, that's right.
Channel 5.
That's right.
People just had their telly.
Yeah, that's
now
right.
I get days, they'll be lucky to maybe hit 5 million views, but then in this day and age in TV, still great numbers. Back then, your fifth Wogan, I think it was over 20 million people used to watch. Only Fools and Horses, sometimes it was 30 million. That's unbelievable figures, how much people just loved the telly. Used to get the magazine at the weekend and circle out what you were going to watch. How's life now?
How's life now? I suppose life's good. I mean, I got my health, I got my kids. You know, my son's in Thailand at the moment. He's does MMA fighting. Doing that Thai fighting, so he's been out there for about 8 months. My daughter works in PR. She's big in the game as well. So the kids are doing fantastic. I'm, just stepped out after sitting for 3 years. Looking to do something. Looking to see what I can do. What's open for me.
What can you do for anybody watching? Like I say, you're a humble guy. You're quite placid.
I'm an artist at heart. I draw. I can draw anything. Looking to get into tattooing. Just got me a machine. Waiting for some fake skin to come to get involved in that. But yeah, I'm an artist outside of this physical body. Other than that, I train people. Personal trainer.
So for anybody watching, just people with these podcasts, people love to help as well. A lot of people go, do you know what? He seems like a good guy. I'm going to give him a chance. And it's all down to you where you take that chance.
Yeah.
Listen, you could fuck it after a week. Maybe the Gladiators were right to get rid of you. Nobody knows.
No.
Or you can be an absolute workhorse and a diamond in the rough where people go, he's fucking unbelievable, that guy.
Yeah.
There is genuinely good people on this planet as well, where people like to help out and offer, and people do their little bit. Because helping people is good for your soul as well.
Yeah, it's good for your soul. Yeah.
So your kids are doing fine. So when you get older, you know yourself, you don't really become as selfish. Your kids are your priority. And if your kids are doing well, you're already winning.
Yeah.
Anything else that comes into your life, in my opinion, is a bonus.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm quite, not greedy where it's money, but greedy just to keep going. And whatever I'm doing, I know is working. It's like a winning mentality. I'm winning.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever lose, so just keep going. But sometimes you can forget the most beautiful things in this is your kids.
Sure.
Listen, my kids are fucking pests.
Sure.
It's only 12 and 13, fight like fuck. And they do my head in. I'm going to lie, but I love them and everything I do is for them.
Yeah.
To give them a better life, more opportunities that their dad never had.
Sure.
And just seeing them happy is what makes me happy. And as cheesy as it is, but it's true. So your son's a fighter?
Yeah.
How old?
They're 28. They're 20. I've got twins. They're 28.
Good age.
Yeah, good age.
Yeah. So is he going to have any fights?
Yeah, he's had a few fights out in Thailand. He's getting ready to come back here and fight. I think in end of July, August, something like that. He's going to be fighting.
How was it watching your son fight?
Yeah, good. I was surprised when he came to me and said that's what he was doing. I mean, he's a plumber by trade, gas man and that. Anytime he wanted to fight, I thought, well, are you as fit as fuck and as hard as nails? Because at the end of the day, if you want to be involved in that type of game, you got to have those two things. You got to be as hard as nails and you got to be as fit as, you got to be. Otherwise, don't do it. But he's embracing it. He's loving it. Yeah.
It's a good life living it. I was actually looking to go last year for 6 weeks. You can do like a camp in Thailand where you're just training twice a day, eating fruit,
that's what he does.
eating good.
Yeah.
But you've got to be tapped.
Yeah.
Every fighter I've interviewed, there's something not quite right.
You've got to be tapped.
Why do you want to get punched in the face? It's barbaric.
Yeah.
But there's something in it where when you do it, you genuinely do feel like a man.
Yeah.
If I'm sparring or doing any sort of combat, it's scary. You always get scared. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, but after it, there's a feeling of something that you don't feel from drugs or success or money. There's just a feeling of, I feel like a man.
Sure.
there's like a purpose.
Yeah.
And because it is scary, I don't know if it's overcoming fears, but those fighters, especially MMA, they're not right in the head.
No.
Anybody who wants to do that,
No.
you've got to question their sanity.
Yeah.
But even you see the bare knuckle fighters now, fucking unbelievable, faces out here, blood everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just mad.
Yeah.
The boxing seems PG. You probably get hit more as boxers. Boxing's an art. Did you never think about taking up fighting yourself?
No.
Nah.
No.
But yeah, because what height are you?
I'm 6'3".
But that's big for a bodybuilder, no?
Yeah. I'm same height as Arnold.
They're all smaller now, though.
Yeah, they're all about.
I had
5'10",
Darian Yates.
5',
Yeah, I had Darian Yates on the podcast, who I love to bits, and because you see them in the magazines and the TV, I was expecting a big, massive fucking. He came in, he was shorter than me.
Yeah.
I was thinking, fucking hell,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he won 6 in a row.
Yeah, it's
6
just muscle off the bone.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Do you regret not giving it another crack?
Yeah, I do. You know, too old for it now, but in order to produce that kind of muscle, but I try and keep myself in shape. But yeah, I do regret not going all the way when I had the opportunity to go all the way, and then again changing that direction from that to that, and again not going all the way. You know.
How's your training now?
Oh, good. I train twice a day now.
Does the strength go down as you get older? Or
Yeah,
is
the
it
strength
still
is
there?
No, I don't have the same strength, obviously, that I had 30 years ago. But you know, I have enough to get through.
Because your shoulders and stuff seem massive. Then, what weight are you now?
I'm 105.
So still no bad.
Mm.
So when the strength declines a bit and the testosterone drops a bit, how does that make you feel?
Older.
Yeah, it's a fucker, innit? That's what it sinks in, doesn't it? I put on 2 stone, mate, and I love running and a bit of boxing, but and I used to play football. But even when I play football now, I play football with Steph Monday. In my mind, I'm still 21.
Yeah.
Still feel as fuck like Maradona.
Sure.
But it's just, everything just seems to fucking be gone.
Yeah.
In my mind, though, I've got it.
Yeah.
But it's mad how the mind stays young.
Sure.
The body sometimes lets you know you ain't that young, dickhead.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Wake up all sore the next day, groins are sore, calves are sore. Why are you training twice a day just to keep
busy?
Ahead of life?
Yeah, just to keep busy. Until something comes, James.
How long you licensed for?
For another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Even that's a scary thought. Not a scary thought in the sense that I'll get any problems or anything, but you know, you don't even have to be in any problems to get recalled.
Association can get you recalled.
Yeah, exactly. Being late back at the fucking AP can get you recalled. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. You got a parole officer and stuff?
Yeah, well, yeah,
You got to sign in?
No, I don't sign in. I go to see a probation officer once a week. And I got one of the AP address as well, which I see once a week.
Yeah. What do you have any triggers? What pisses you off?
Triggers?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to have triggers. I mean, just from being fucking bored would trigger me off to do something stupid. But no, I sort of look at things now as I don't have too much time left. I don't even know how much time I've got left, and I ain't gonna waste it fucking doing shit like that.
How do you stay out of prison then? If it's been your kind of life for over 10 years, just in and out, doing.
How do I
stay out? What do you make
from now?
Yeah.
Just keeping my nose clean and staying away from bare crosses and people that, you know, just ain't worth being around, and concentrate on my kids and concentrate on, like I said, salvaging myself. Can't go out like this. You know, can't go out just as had been druggy. Can't go out like that. That's not me. It's never been me. It's just something that happened, you know, and I'm trying to correct it now.
Yeah, but that's all you can do is correct it.
Yeah.
When we spoke earlier, that's all people can make the changes. People can. Do you know what? I fucked up there. I've kind of became a lost soul for a while.
Sure.
In and out of prison, and
sure.
yeah, even just speaking to you, you seem a good guy, and I'm rooting for you, and I hope genuinely everything does work out. But I believe you have got more to give.
Yeah,
I believe people can be defeated so much and deflated where they don't know how to get back on it and become stronger and pump themselves up because they just feel like a failure. Rejection just hits them that hard where they think, I'm never going to get another chance. People make their own chances. Keep fucking banging that door down. Eventually,
Yeah.
one will open
Yeah.
because you've got a story
Got to.
there with
Got to.
a hit show, possibly a book and documentaries,
Sure.
and you've got something. You've got listen. Even though the Gladiators was the best time of your life, probably the worst after it, you can still make money from it.
But this is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
James. Yeah, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that there's some avenue I can go down, being this person. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'm friends with murderers, bank robbers, drug lords. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing good now.
Sure.
If they were still active now, I'd be
Sure.
thinking, look,
Yeah.
I can't speak to you.
Yeah.
I'm clean cut now, and
Yeah.
but I'll give everybody the time of day. If you've done shit in the past, I don't care. As long as you've made amends, as long as you
Yeah.
put your hands up. The first thing is taking responsibility.
Sure.
A lot of people struggle with. But people who put their hands up and say, do you know what, drug lords, I fucked up. I destroyed thousands of lives. I was just in that game where I was greedy. I was just trying to make money. I never cared about the destruction of others.
Sure.
But you're making it. You're speaking around schools. You're talking to people not to miss it.
Yeah.
That's a noble thing. I can
Yeah.
respect that because you don't know who your circle of friends is going to be when you're young. You're just happy to have friends.
Sure.
So whether they're being dodgy or straight line down the middle making money, sometimes it's the luck of the draw with your environment.
Yeah.
But there comes a stage where adults need to open their eyes and go, I'm not enjoying this
Yeah.
lifestyle. I can make changes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about these podcasts. People will come forward and say, I want to give you a chance because people know who you are. I knew somebody messaged me on Instagram. I knew automatically. I say, I'll get him on 1,000,000%. I knew who you were. I was a massive fan of the Gladiators. So people will give you chances because who you were 30 years ago. Nobody cares about your past. You'll get the odd arsehole will go, you're in prison. You're always going to get pricks everywhere
Sure,
you go,
sure.
but because of who you are, nobody cares if you're in prison.
Yeah.
Everybody knows somebody that's took drugs or been in prison now.
Yeah.
It's 2023.
Yeah.
The world's a fucking mad place.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Does it are you questioning life a lot more? Because when I was asking you questions at the start, I never thought about it that way. You never really questioned the dark side of the world, but you see me at a stage of life, I don't want to go like this, and I'm just trying to question it, make better decisions.
Yeah. Make better decisions. Yeah. Be around better people. Being around myself. Because I think I lost myself for a long time. So being around myself and finding myself again.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
How much has exercise helped you stay sane?
Saying a lot. I don't feel right if I don't go to the gym. Feel lazy, lethargic, everything. I need to be training. Yeah.
How's your eating?
Eating's not too great. I mean, the things are so expensive out here. That I can't eat the way I would like to eat. But I'm eating, staying alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Stay alive and try to do something else you can. Really do. But like I say, for anybody watching, is there any way for people to can contact you? Or do you want me to leave an email for people to maybe come through me and I can contact you?
That'd be better.
Or is there somebody I can leave like an Instagram or a Twitter? I don't know. I know you're not really clued up with that shit, but
I'd imagine my daughter has something like that, but she's away at the moment. But
you can ask her and then send it to me. That's what we're about for a few weeks anyway.
Yeah.
But where do you go forward for the future?
Where do I go forward?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I just where am I now? I'm waiting for my driver's license to appear, to come to me. I just waited for the city and guild certificates to come from the prison. Hopefully, with these bits of paper, I can join an agency and get some work. Just slowly. Take one step at a time.
That's all you can do as long as it's positive steps.
Yeah, as long as it's positive steps, that's right. And doing things like this, and I think there's another guy that I was introduced to, a YouTube man, Nick Tick. Yeah. He was asking about me coming on that, so I'll do that as well.
That's all it is. It's just getting your name out there again. And somebody will go, I'm going to give him a chance. That's all it's about. And we're not mainstream media where things are trying to throw people under the bus. My job is only to let people tell them story from their side. The British public are quite clued up on who's good and who's bad in life.
Yeah.
You can't really fool them. A lot of people, listeners, stupid people out there would easily fucking fool, but the vast majority of people, they know who's the real deal and who's there's fakery and there's something not right.
Yeah.
But you just seem a guy who goes through the motions in life, just doing his thing, but you've had a massive career. You kind of lost it. You've lost who you were. But like you says, it's to find out who you are again and enjoy life. And we're breathing.
Sure.
We can smile. We can fucking laugh and just go, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm breathing. My kids are fine. I'm worrying okay. I'm eating fucking toast and beans again. But I'm eating. And I know people say there's always somebody worse off. But when you're on the toast and beans, I'm eating well now. There's times when I fucking struggled or gambled everything. I would have to go to my mum's to get food and whatever. But I think the struggles make you who you are as well.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate the finer things. I do think we can take it for granted. But like I say, you can use the fuck ups of the past. Being sacked and being in prison, talking in schools and getting paid for it. You've got a good story. Sad as well though, because life doesn't just... It's sad that people just not give up, but they just totally forget that life goes on.
Yeah.
Instead of living on the past, which is difficult. But obviously this is the first time you're kind of speaking out. We've got to touch on it, but you can make yourself a brighter future. Do you realise that as well?
Yeah.
Do you worry that you could potentially go back?
No. Go back where? To prison?
Prison.
No. I have no intention on going back to prison, James. None at all. You know. None at all, mate.
What about drinking and stuff?
Drinking?
Yeah.
I don't really drink. I might have a beer once in a while, but I'm not a drink.
Was your mental health, did it ever totally go? Suicidal thoughts or anything?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. I've never been, as low as I've been, I've never thought to harm myself or take my own life or nothing like that. No.
It's sad because a lot of people who end up with big TV careers and they get sacked or they get cancelled or whatever, they just can't handle it anymore because they feel as if they're forgotten. Nobody gives a fuck about you anyway when you're on the TV.
Yeah,
after the show's gone, after 3 weeks, everything fizzles.
I mean, I sort of think to myself now, you know, okay, it was 30 years ago, Jeff. You know, I'm not trying to get something. I'm not trying to become this person again. I just want to find a way of making some form of living or money from being that person. You know, there's people out there who are less known than myself that create something for themselves. So even like with the book, you know, I'm halfway there because I'm known by millions of people. So it's just a matter of me finishing that book and getting it out there. Really, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, of course, because there's people out there older than you, doing more than you. There's people out there younger than me, older than me, doing more than me. You see the Paralympics and you're thinking, fuck me, that these people are putting in graft and showing they're not quitting. Yeah. Sometimes we've got all the tools we need to be something, but we just don't use them because I don't know if it becomes lazy. There's just so many different factors that comes into it, but it's just, you've still got time, you're still breathing, you're still fit, you're still strong. You can write had Susie something on who wrote a book 60's a new 40. So you've still got that physique, you're still looking great, you can still, you see people in their 40s and 50s and they can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
They're fucked, arthritis seeps in, they stop training, they stop exercising, they stop stretching. So you're still ahead of 90% of the people at your age.
Yeah.
People your age are sitting in the pub wasting their life, and it's sad, maybe they've lost a loved one, you'll see the old guy sitting in the corner drinking his whiskey. And it's not that they're bad, but they've gave up.
Yeah.
For me, then there's just, sometimes it's better that they're not here. And that's a sad reality because they're just going through the motions of existing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something special. You can learn, play a new instrument, learn a new language. You can do whatever the fuck you want at any age. It's just a case of purpose, getting up and finding the drive.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if you're getting that drive back though, and a bit of purpose?
Yeah. Well, that's why I think, you know, getting in the gym every day gives me purpose, gives me, you know, drive to be up.
Yeah, keep fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you ever in contact with any of the old cast, the Gladiators?
No. I don't think I've spoken to any of them since I've come out of the Gladiator.
It's a bit heavy, that.
And and a few of them have sold stories to the papers. I think to myself, my God, is that what you're going to talk about? Is that what you're going to say about me? I know so much about all of you, but yet I for the life of me can't be asked to go and tell anyone about it. Why would I? But then I think to myself, why are you doing that to me? Why are you selling stories? Why are you talking about me like that? 6 pints before going out into the arena. Who drinks 6 pints of Guinness before going out in front of them? Is that all you've got to say? Is that all you could find to say about me? And these are, this is like Cobra. This is the guy who used to make me laugh on Gladiators. But yet, when being interviewed, this is what he's telling them. I know things about Cobra that, but why would I tell anybody just to sell a story or to talk about someone?
I think that says more about your character than theirs.
Oh yeah.
Anybody who sells their stories is a scumbag
Sure.
in my eyes, because you're selling out.
Of course,
Because the people who sell stories and do other stories, it's to deflect away from what they're really hiding.
Mm.
And that's the problem. Standing staunch and going, do you know what? I know shit about all them, but I'm not really going to. Listen, everybody's got a right to defend themselves. If people are speaking shit, then you've got to. I would fire back, don't get me wrong, but there comes a time when you go, do you know what? They're not worth the air.
Yeah.
They're not worth the space.
That's how I think, James. I
They've
think
showed their true colours, they've played their cards.
Exactly.
Does that then make you question that there could have been somebody in your team that's threw you under the bus and created the rumours? Listen, you weren't a fucking saint. You were dabbing, speeding, doing whatever again. But I'd imagine everybody was involved.
Oh yeah.
It just seems to have been you've been picked out. We need to get somebody.
Yeah.
We'll get the captain. We'll get the leader. We'll get one of the biggest stars on the show.
Sure.
A lot of jealousy.
Sure.
Because I never worked. I was always a dodgy bastard. Got my first job at 30, and I done a PT course. It was like intense, 6 weeks. But I never knew it was about the anatomy and the heart and the liver and all the mad shit. So I cheated. And then I was 6 weeks in a personal training job. But what people don't know, I've got good communication skills. So I would speak to old John that was sitting in the rowing machine or the bike, talking about his kids and his dog, and he'd lost his wife. And then he would come to me 4 weeks later because he'd go, James, can you train me?
Yeah.
All these steroids and juice heads, they never had communication skills. They'd look in the mirror. So I was in the job 6 weeks. 6 weeks of the job, became head PT. I never had a fuck it because I wasn't in the best shape, but I could talk.
Sure.
So I was fully booked.
Sure.
And I've never felt hate and jealousy. Maybe if you're out at nightclubbing, there's always maybe a bit of jealousy because I always had a suit on, always very smart, but I just seen people turn, and I've never felt it in my fucking. They were making up stories, little Chinese whispers, because I'd get the job. They were doing the job 10, 20 years. I was doing it 6 weeks. Come in, smashed that, took over. I was hiring people and sacking people, but I never felt jealousy like it.
Yeah.
And that's only in a gym.
Sure.
Never mind a hit show.
Sure.
If somebody's getting all the publicity and all the attention, and the main guy and the captain, everybody wants to be leader. But that. Sticking people in and selling stories, that's a rat, that ain't a leader.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be steering the ship. It's the one who stands strong and goes, you know what, you've said shit about me, but I'm going to just let you have your say.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there comes a time I'm going to fire back because I ain't a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're going to step forward. Listen, I'll always step forward, but people show their true colours.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting that shit in a fucking gym, but I don't really give a fuck about it, I was just doing it to make myself feel proud that I was worth something. I was working again, and people were little snakes. Never mind a hit show when people are selling stories. So it does make you question it that somebody has threw you under the bus along the way. You've been a target to maybe save their ass, save their job, and you're the one. But again, you can't hold bitterness and anger towards people because it consumes you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that people were actually selling stories about you.
Yeah. Even up to just recently, while I was inside, the stories. I think I've been in the paper about 4 or 5 times since I was inside. If it wasn't to promote the new Gladiators that are coming out, some story, but attached to those stories were former Gladiators that were selling their stories and talking shit about me.
but you become the easy target. But you've gave them the ammunition with being in prison.
Yeah.
So everything they'll say they believe because you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You can understand that as well.
Yeah.
That they're getting paid. Little shit story, keeping their name in the paper while discrediting you. But then I believe you'll be the one coming out okay.
Yeah.
If you just stay on the path, do the right thing, big things will happen again. Get a book out. I'm happy to have you on again. Promote your book.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've got big contacts with other podcasters where you can go on their shows, because the thing about these hit bigger numbers than the actual TV, than the newspapers.
Wow.
All that shit's fizzled now. This is a new media.
Yeah.
Where people are getting a fair shout. Like I've done over 400 interviews. People are going to come on and talk pure shit and lie. That's my job, is not to be the judge and jury.
Yeah.
My job is just to guide the story where people can make their own assumptions. And if people like you, they'll invest into you and they'll go, he's a good guy. So you can get your book out. You don't need the mainstream media. Don't get me wrong, there's good reporters as well who do their job and just wanted to do the right thing, but there's snakes everywhere in life.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
When do you think your book will be finished?
Not for a while, James. I did have like 75% of it done before I went to prison. But after losing the flat and everything that was in it, so that's gone. So I have to start it all over again, really.
How did you lose the flat?
Just from being nicked.
You need to come out and get another flat. Do you need to get any sheltered accommodation?
Right now, I'm in the AP address, but I'm waiting to find. I've got to go and view a few places this week.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. But listen, I wish you nothing but the best for the future. Hopefully you get your book out. Screw the nuts, stay out of fucking prison. It's difficult though. It's okay me saying that because life is going okay, but when you're on your ass, it's hard because you just want to survive, and that's when the temptation kicks in.
Yeah, well, I can't let money dictate my pocket, really.
Yeah, but the only thing is, that sort of stuff will, doing 3 years inside, especially in your 60s, it's not a good look.
No.
You know this yourself, you're not daft. So, for anybody watching that's maybe going through the same struggles that you're going through, just kind of try to survive and stay out of prison, what advice would you have for them?
Keep your chin up, your chest out, and the world will turn.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah.
Would you like to finish up on anything?
No, I'm good.
Shadow, listen, for coming on today and telling your story, you seem like a right decent guy. I wish you nothing but the best for the future. And for anybody watching, drop me a message if you can offer the big man work in London. You want to be a tattoo artist, maybe even a labouring job, something. You're willing to take anything?
Sure, anything. Yeah.
Then drop me a message and I'll pass it on and hopefully somebody can give them a chance. But that's all we can do. I hope to see you back home with your book. But listen, stay strong, stay out of trouble, and God bless you, brother.
James.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.